We are live. It is 2:01 Central Standard Time in the United States, 8:01 BST in the United Kingdom. This is the Nomad Tech Project with Sam and Joe.
Hey.
Coming to you live this 13th day of April 2025. If you're watching the stream, congratulations. You are one of those people that decided to watch this live. I don't know why you'd want to. You can catch it later. It's recorded. We put it on. It's on the YouTubes. And then I take that show and then I take the audio and I strip it and I put it into a podcast. And people listen to that. Why they do, I have no clue.
Because we're so cool.
Well, I mean, we're definitely not industry insiders. We're just a couple of blokes just trying to talk tech, man. So we appreciate everybody swinging on by. We do not have a guest this week. And then everybody heads up next week, at least in the United States, is Easter. I'm pretty sure it is everywhere else because
Easter Sunday.
Easter Sunday, it's a religious thing, so we will not be having a show. I have to work, and Joe's got family time. It's just nope. Holidays, look, you know, there are things that are more.
Unless you want to go a Saturday, unless you want to do that, but
I don't really want to do a Saturday. I don't know.
No.
I mean, maybe it depends. If we had a guest, maybe I don't know. We just should just take some time off, right? It's
Easter
one of
break.
those things. Easter break, right? Holidays are nice, like especially when they're on a Sunday. I don't know if you get that big. Dude, yeah, it was. It sounded like it shattered. Hopefully, that's chocolate and not glass, because it sounded like it exploded. Holy cow!
It's chocolate. Woohoo!
Well, that's good. Good thing it didn't have like a filling inside, because that would have been messy, and you would have had it like
had the minstrels separate. You see?
Yeah, they got the minstrels. There you go. So, Joe's already getting into the Easter candy early. I don't eat chocolate. Generally, as a rule, I think it's gross. I know
his body is a temple.
No, it's just I'm one of those people that I just do not like chocolate. I will, if it's like hot chocolate or chocolate flavored something, maybe I can eat it. But other than that, chocolate just generally just like a Hershey's bar or a Cadbury's with nope, not my thing. It just isn't my thing. And the Cadbury cream eggs they have like this filling, looks like an egg. It's like, oh my god, it's like cream. Ugh.
Peter had to say the best joke ever. Excellent.
Yeah, excellent. Absolutely. Thanks, Peter. Thanks for stopping by. So this is it's a guestless show. We have not a whole lot to talk about exactly. We have unlike the other shows that they come prepared with like articles and stuff they want to talk about. We have none of that. We don't prepare at all.
No. Why would we do that? That's just boring, man.
Yeah, so, well, I did see that there happens to be, I did see, because I do follow, which is hilarious because I didn't even know I was following who he was, Wilkin Lee, right? So he's one of the main folks over in UK in the Motorola space, right? In Motorola UK, marketing and advertising executive. So we have some stuff coming out, right? Moto's coming out with some stuff. What's it? I think it's April 24th. I think that's what the day is for the
24th.
Yeah, so it's gonna be nice.
Looks like a flippy dippy.
Another flippy dippy. And so I again, for folks who are to me that I think they sleep on Motorola a little bit. You should check it out.
Yeah, definitely. I'm going to be
checking
out Moto this year. I know Peter's had a hands-on with Moto quite a lot. You obviously have. Dan has as well. Grounded Tech.
Yeah.
So
apparently, Moto's next Razor phones will be unveiled April 24th.
I'm excited.
So you get the new Razors. When ordinary flips to the extraordinary, make it iconic. 424.
They're bringing a lot of AI stuff as well, I think, like everyone else is.
Yeah, so it'll be nice, and then we also have the Moto 60, the Edge.
Yep.
I think there's going to be a lot. It's one of those brands that I think a lot of people sleep on. Now, granted, if you're a person like me who bought if you bought the stylus, the Moto 24 stylus, right? If you have that, you spent $250, right? $249. And it only has one OS update, and I think it only gets maybe 2 years. I think it's 2 years of security updates. I mean, who's really side loading? No, not really. Again, it'd be different if this phone was like $600. Then I think a 1 year update, right? A 1 year OS update and a 2 year cadence and a bi-monthly gains on updates would be kind of unacceptable. But I think it's, again, if you're paying $250, it's essentially that's a budget device, but it doesn't feel like a budget device. So that's what I think kind of messes people up. I mean, I use this all the time.
I like the vegan leather feel they have on there.
Dude, the backs are nice. You've got a stylus, right? You've got that.
You get that on like cheaper device, even like the G35, I think it is.
Yeah, I mean, and then now the fact that the S25 series, like on the Ultra line, they've gone back from the Bluetooth, right? They're back to kind of like pretty much the stylus that you have on a Moto. I mean, then now you're like, you can pay $1,200 or $1,000, or in the used market you might be able to get an S25 for what, like maybe $800, $900. And now what I tell people is because I compare it to the S25, I'm not saying it has the same specs. It's clearly not. It's a two strata device, right? S25 is way up here. Moto G stylus is way down here. It's clearly not designed to be that phone. It's not going to have the same features. It's not going to have the AI chops. It's not going to have the call screenings, all the stuff that Samsung's bringing.
See what
Peter says? Yeah, it's $250. It's $250.
So Peter says, Moto is punching way over its price tag. I'm taking mine because it has all the features that my Chinese flagship is missing. That's the key point there for me. Is that it has everything his flagship hasn't got. That's interesting. Moto are packing a lot in their phones. Right.
Well, and also too, it's because they they're unlocked, right? So they're available.
Yep.
And the problem is when you have these Chinese brands, like you have the Vivos. Now in the UK, maybe you can get through it because of you have more bands, right? 5G, 4G, LTE, maybe gets more bands, maybe it works better. And I realize that, and Moto is not a photography based phone. It just isn't. You're not going to get the same shots. I think if you're taking pictures on a Moto phone, you can probably, if you know what you're doing, like you and Dan and Manos and Peter and Pitar, like all those people.
I'll pretend.
Dude, you could probably get some okay pictures out of those. Now, is it going to rival anything from a flagship or these really high-end Chinese brands? No. And I think Moto's trying to be better about it. But dudes, their phones are really just overlooked. If you're an Android guy and you just want a phone that works and you're not really not looking to break the bank, it's something you should look at. And Tuna, I agree. It's cameras. Again, everybody is like, I guess this is gonna be a hot take. I said, I think, but here's the thing. If my thing is this: if you're a camera person, you should be rocking a camera, right? You should not be using your phone. I mean, it's nice that the phone is convenient. It's nice that the phone has the features, and we should. But I think we've really focused way too much on phones and their camera chops, and not necessarily on the things that make them great. Like the price. You have a stylus. You can pick it up. It's unlocked. You can go walk into a Best Buy if you're in the United States or a local brand. You can buy directly from Motorola, and you can buy a phone that won't break your bank and does the same thing. Now the cameras won't be there, but if you're that much of a photography guy,
let's not get it wrong. The cameras are there. They're just not what you might expect with a pro phone, perhaps. But there still be decent cameras. I think I'd say. I mean, I've not had hands on myself.
Yeah, again, I agree with Peter. It do great for the socials. You can post those pictures if you have a selfie or if you're in a restaurant or whatever. You can do that. But I still believe in what Juan Carlos Bagnell says. Is I think a lot of people are just way overbuying phones, man. You're way overbuying what you need. Again, if you're really big into cameras, then go get a camera. And most of those people who really are. Yeah, and some people only has their phone as a camera, but those people don't care.
I see. Ready 4 was mentioned as well, Sam. I think it's called Smart Connect now. They've changed it, but that's a nice feature to have as well.
Yeah, but and Tuna, I agree with you. But 80% of the people who could probably buy a Moto phone or maybe should buy a Moto phone, if it takes decent pictures, these people. Do you know how many people pixel peep? Matter of fact, do yourself a favor. Talk to somebody you know and say, "Hey, do you pixel peep on your photos?" Or like, I don't even know what that is.
What's a
Like
pixel?
they have no clue, right? It's if the picture is decent. Now you're going to struggle with some challenging lighting. Again, I'm not saying that it should be your solution. I'm saying it should be a solution. It should be a solution for folks. And I think we're kind of like in that boat. Remember when it used to be processor speed and overclocking and everybody cared about megahertz of the chipsets? Now nobody really cares about that so much anymore. It's these phones have so much capability, but we've conditioned people to think that if you're not spending $1,000 on a phone, you're going to get a garbage camera. Well, the Pixel 9a came out, and I don't think you're going to get a garbage camera out of that phone. Is it going to have everything you want? Is it going to be everything you need? I doubt it.
Probably.
For most, most people, yeah. I'd say 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 people, yeah. They're just going to be the tech people who are going to just basically dump on it. But don't you? Again, it does. I know the 16E and the 9A. I know that doesn't make sense for a lot of folks. But at the end of the day, it's like I think most people are buying a phone, and if they're not buying an iPhone, right? Let's exclude all the iPhone purchasers because they're in that. But they have only a certain selection, right? They have to buy an iPhone. It's got to be a 16 or a Plus or a Pro or an E or a 15, right? They're not OEM shopping on the Apple side. Get that. But on the Android side, you can do that. And I think that's one of the main reasons why I stick with Android, because you can do that.
So talking about camera phones though, Sam, did you see the new Oppo Ultra?
Oh yeah, it's nice. Man, it's nice.
Did you see that Leica lens that you can get?
Yeah, you can turn it essentially into a camera. I mean, it's just like, what the hell? So are you buying a phone at that point? Are you really just buying a camera that just happens to have a phone attached to it? Then, I don't know. It's funny.
That's when if you're going to buy lenses for that, why don't you buy a camera? It's that same argument, right?
Right.
Because my fear would be, right, what if they don't support or come out of phones that support that lens later on? So say you buy this phone, you buy this lens, right? And then even if you have it for 3-4 years and then you want to change phone, but they haven't got a new phone that matches up with that lens, that's a lot of money wasted, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so. And I love tuna. Jason's good. This is where we just this isn't me. I think again, you can do this. He'd rather have a smartphone with the best cameras. Cool.
No,
but you're gonna have to get, if you want the phone with the best cameras and you're in the United States, you're going to have to compromise on the phone part of it, right? Because if you're getting a Vivo, it doesn't work the same as your Pixel or your Samsung in the US. Yeah, you can kind of fight the software. Yeah, you can fight the connection. Yeah, it might be pretty close, but at the end of the day, I think Huawei makes awesome cameras. I don't know anybody in this chat who owns a Huawei. And if you're in the United States, you ain't daily driving a Huawei. Why? Because they don't have Google services on it. So honestly, it's like, I get where he's coming from. I don't disagree with this comment, and I agree with it. For me, if I was a camera guy and I was going to go do something I knew I needed a camera, I would bring a camera. I would not buy a phone based on its camera chops alone, because I think I just that's not me. But Jason, Jason does. And that's valid, and we respect that. And I
think tech fans tend to go that way.
Definitely. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. So yeah, you got the Mozo, you got the Razer stuff, you got the Moto stuff coming out. So there's you got the 9A, and somebody made a comment. I don't know if I can't remember. I can't attribute the comment, so I'm not going to question. I'm not even going to say who I thought who had said it, but. The fact that do you think the 9A, you haven't heard much about the 9A the last couple of weeks or whatever? I mean, you have if you're.
I've had hands on with a dummy.
And if you're one of us, you've heard of it, but most people haven't. Do you honestly think? And somebody made a comment basically that the fact that the Pixel Insiders program getting gone really kind of didn't drive a lot of that homegrown, organic kind of conversation about, do you think that is going to affect?
We've alluded it to this a few times now. Google now do market their phones, so they're going that route. And trust me, once it's released, you'll see the influencers, the new breed of influencers they're going with. You'll see their content. You'll see it. People will know about the 9A, I'm sure, and it will sell pretty well, probably. I think so anyway. It's a similar position to the 16E, isn't it? It's just the entry point for the 9 range.
Right. How do you feel about the offset, like with the A coming out so much later? Like it's like almost like a mid-year release. Do you think that the A should come out with the other phones and maybe ditch maybe a 9A, a 9 Pro, and a 9XL for the larger one, and that's it?
No,
get rid of the 9, like the vanilla 9, or what do you think? Do you like having that off?
I like cadence? It. I'll tell you why. Because doing a podcast on tech, it helps things coming
right. It helps us because then because then in the middle of the year, like around now, we have nothing to talk about. We're just up here just bullshitting each other, right?
Yeah.
Jason, I want a fast car, but I wouldn't buy a race car because I'm not a professional racer. I can get a fast car. Yeah, that's true. You can. But there's very few professional racers. There's a lot of people who want camera tech that rivals in their phone, that rivals a standalone DSLR.
I haven't done this yet. The Tech Preacher, if you haven't checked him out, check him out. He's just said he's got a video, the Note 9 versus Galaxy S25 Ultra.
Yeah, the Note 9. Dude, the Note.
Interesting, man.
I will tell you.
I'm going to watch that.
I agree with Juan that Note 4 was awesome, but the Note 9, that phone, as far as notes go, I think that I had the blue one with the yellow stylus. That phone at that time was the greatest note that was ever made. I love the Note 9. Had the fingerprint on the back, on the reader on the back, which again, I still think it belongs there just because I think that's where your phone naturally goes, right? And so, and I actually like, I like actual hardware, physical, like buttons. Like I wish that this didn't have an end screen. I wish it had a regular. Yeah. I like physical capacitive unlocking, and then obviously you have your your face unlock or whatever. But yeah, the Note 9, dude, that blue one with the yellow S Pen was fire back then. If that thing would if I could find a way to get One UI 7 on that, if it could get updates, man, I would love that phone. I love that device. I like the simple little bar across the top. I agree with Eric there. The Note 9, I think can hold its own. I think that
Sam, yeah. Do you think they should model the S26 Ultra on the Note 9 then?
They won't, but I would like to. No. I wish they would have a throwback version of it. And I don't necessarily, because I say that it has nothing to do with the S25. I like the S25. I like the teardrop. I like that camera housing because again, it makes it unique. When you see that, you can clearly tell it's not an iPhone, it's not a Pixel, it's clearly a Samsung device, right? And I think that obviously when you look at like a OnePlus or an Oppo or a Vivo, the camera housings really kind of identify the phone because now they're kind of all kind of like they all change things, right? Some have this, and they have vertical, some have a bar, and then they do this, and then iPhone. I mean, clearly you look at an iPhone, it's an iPhone, right? Because of the way they do the camera housing. But I don't know. I really wish they would have like a retro version of one of those phones and go back to it like a Note 9. That would be your fan edition, right? That would be the fan edition, right? You would have your S25 Ultra, right? And then you have your mid-year where you would have your fan edition, and that would be a throwback. How many times have you seen people say, "Man, can you imagine getting a HTC One M8 chassis with updated specs?" Like, how would you like that phone? I think we kind of get away from the physical hardware of our phones. I really think we go for software. Totally understandable. Totally get it. But I think it's like, I think people miss the older hardware, and I like the Note 9. And oh hell yeah, Luis, the active line, they got to bring that back, and not all of them, just one, right? You have an S25 active, right? And it's just one phone. It's an active device. It's got all that stuff. It sits right in maybe it's a little bigger than the Plus, right? You have an S25 Plus, an S25 standard, and you have an Ultra, and then you have an S25 active. I know a lot of people had active phones, and it was nice because you didn't need to buy a case. right? And it was great. It had my friend that I used to work with. I finally got her off. She had an S6 active, and loved that phone, dude. I think the active phones,
they've gone away from phones that you don't need a case because they want you to buy cases.
well, I get that, but it's like there's a lot of people who now are kind of I don't know about you, but do you see a lot of people like kind of not casing phones?
Oh yeah, all the time.
Yeah, and I noticed it too, especially with iPhones. I got in the elevator a couple of weeks ago, and somebody was next to me, and that guy was, I think it was an iPhone 14, might have been a 14 plus. I can't tell. I couldn't tell. I just, they all look the same. No case. I see a lot of iPhone users who do not have a case on their phone, and I don't. I mean, nope. I've never put a case on this. First of all, you can't put a case on a phone because
there's back though.
It's not a glass back, and you can't find a lot of hardware for this. I mean, there's not a lot of case. There's not a lot of accessories and peripherals for this, right? But dude, because here's the thing: if I drop this phone, it sucks. I'm going to be mad if I crack the screen. But the money that I would spend to get a replacement, like a deductible on a replacement, I can just go buy a brand new S25, the 24 stylus, Moto G stylus. I go buy another one. Plus, it's got a headphone jack, right? And it's, I don't know. I think the fan edition should be like the Note fan edition, like an S25 Ultra FE. I think it should be like where they go back and they grab the Note 5 or the Note 9 or the Note 10, right? Or the Note 20 Ultra. Like they grab an older design and then just take that same chassis, right? And then put internals in it that are modern.
Because the FE is not really what a Samsung fan would pick, right?
Well, I don't understand the fan edition because it's like if they're fans of the brand, they may have been fans of that brand for a long time, and they really liked one of those older phones. The problem is though they have to think strategically, right? They have to. Yeah. We don't want to have a whole bunch of different parts. We don't make the 9 chassis. It's this, it's that, the other, right? We don't want to have to create a bunch of phones that has a completely different, chassis, completely different screen, but you don't have to. I think you can get that design, right? You can put the fingerprint reader on the back and have the same 3 cameras across the, and tell people, hey, you're going to basically get the same. You're going to get the same phone, or you're going to updated internals. But then the problem is you're going to run into, well, that one only had 2 cameras, and it didn't have a telephone, it didn't have an ultra wide, and blah, 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 blah. And then it's going to be it's where it's going to drop the fall is the camera. That's where people are going to piss and moan about it. It's the cameras. They're going to say, well, the cameras are not, they're not modernized, right? They only have, like look at the HTC One E124. It had a single camera on the back, right? I mean, it's like nobody's going to want to do that because again, they're going to bulk on the cameras. That's where they're going to, you can have all the internal, you can have an 8 Gen 2 in it. You can have 12 gigs of RAM. You can have,
but like Peter says, you'll get Exynos in the FE. Yeah.
Well, I mean, Samsung needs to ditch the Exynos line and be done with all that, right?
They're not going to.
They're not going to. But I'm saying it would be a lot of fun to have a Note 9. You can call it a throwback edition. You can call it, a retro version. It doesn't have to be a fan edition, a retro version. But dude, I agree with I'm going to watch that video. And folks, if you just want to see something that's just kind of fun to watch, go watch this video that Eric creates.
Yeah, I'm definitely. I don't watch much YouTube now, but I'm definitely going to go back and check that out.
Yeah, and see how well the Note 9 holds up against the S25 Ultra.
I think it'd be interesting.
And it's again, and I know Ted Salmon. I know him and Steve will go back and grab old phones, a 1020, and like, how does a 1020 hold up in 2025? Probably not great. Probably takes 5 seconds to make a picture. However, that phone is that old, and we're talking about a 10-year-old phone that can kind of start to hang on a little bit. It's not too bad. So
yeah. I'll tell you something interesting at work, Sam, right? We've had a few devices, lower end, right, that would have been branded Nokia. Obviously, HMD own Nokia. Basically, we've had replacements in that are branded HMD. The Nokia branding's not on it. So it's literally just HMD. I find that interesting. Like, are they getting rid of the Nokia brand or weird? Literally, the only one we've got with Nokia on now is the 3210. The new remake of that. And I think they obviously can't take away the Nokia branding on that.
Sure. Right. Oh yeah, but it's just, like I said, and even the Lumia lines are kind of nice, right? It's just again, I think they, maybe you don't make it a fan edition, maybe you make it like a retro edition, right? But I think it'd be kind of
I'm about something different. So phones that I've actually got in the store now, that we'd not devices that we'd normally have, like there's a Nokia 105, for example. We've got new versions in, but they're HMD branded only. There's no Nokia branding on them.
Right.
So it's like they're phasing out the Nokia brand. Well, that's what it feels like.
Well, I mean, I guess and it's really complicated with the Nokia brand because I think we're kind of at the point where I think Nokia essentially is dead, right? I think
it makes me sad.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, in the same way that LG is dead, and like Sony Ericsson, right? Ericsson from like they're that we don't have Palm Pres, and we don't have we don't have Palm Pres, we don't have we don't have some of these. Yeah, we don't have the HTC. Well, we do technically, but it's just not the same, and it just sucks. Remember you had the Nokia 9. They had like the circle of like 53 cameras in the back. It was wild. It was wild, dude. I just think that I understand these companies don't want to lose money. Clearly, they're not in the market for doing that. However, man, it's like when that's why like Michael Fisher's when phones were fun, because phones just aren't fun anymore. Nobody's really going out of their way to create crazy stuff, right? They're just not. HTC had their phones. They had like the buttons, and then LG had the flip cases and the Velvet, and then they had the Wing. Right? We don't do any of that kind of stuff anymore. And I will tell you that. Did you see that the Huawei Pura or whatever? Yeah. Dude, what the fuck is that? That phone is awesome, dude. I saw that the other day and I was like, what?
I miss Huawei,
dude. I saw it. Was it the Pura? What was the foldable? I can't remember. I don't think it's the Pura.
Pura is more a camera centric phone, isn't it?
Right. What's the one that folded Huawei device?
What they call a trifold.
What it folded like it didn't, instead of like a clamshell, it wasn't like I can't describe it. I saw it the other day. I'm like, I don't know what it was called. Somebody's got to help me out. I just happened to see a video of it. It was damn it.
I'm just literally putting clamshell phone. It is a Pura.
Yeah.
I think it is. Is that what you saw?
I think so. Hold on.
Is that it, Sam?
Wait.
Blurring the shit out of it.
Yeah. The Pura X. Dude, that is wild because it was like, it almost folded like the wrong way. That's what it kind of felt like. It was like a side, like a side fold. But it was weird. You open it up and
X. It's called the Pura X.
Dude, that thing looks wild.
Yeah. It does look interesting, actually.
Yeah, the Pura X, dude. I saw that and I was like, man,
this is like a flippy dippy, but
it's a flippy dippy, but then it like you open it and then you turn it like a regular phone. Yeah, it's kind of a different take on a foldable. Dude, I saw it and I was like, wow, that. And then you open it up and you like turn it and then you got basically it's kind of like it's a shorter, fatter kind of foldable, right? But you can still make phone calls on it. Yeah, the Pura X, dude, it looks amazing.
6.3-inch screen.
Yeah, it's great. It's like, no, we don't have that. We have basically what we have Samsung iterating. We have these companies not pushing the limit, and it's just like weak. Hey,
this Pura looks good. I like the look of it, but I'll never get hands on with it.
Yeah, they are trying, and I get it. But I think there has to be two channels, right? I think you have to have phones that obviously that work for people that are like have ready for, or Samsung, you have the S25 Ultras, you have your S25s, because people just want a phone that works. They don't really want to push the boundaries on this kind of weird Pura X and trifold. And
of course, Gigi purchased it.
Oh, of course you would. Yeah,
so check out her channel if you're interested.
Yeah,
in that.
yeah. If Gigi, I guarantee she got a pure X, and that
she has,
to me, it's just I just think it's fascinating because I like where companies. That's why I really miss the LGs because they're trying to push the envelope on form factors and they're just trying stuff like just try it, And I still, like I said, I still think this has a market.
Sam,
I still think
I hate to ask this question, Sam. Right?
That has a market. I still think it does. Now, does it have a market for you? Probably not.
It's like this. What I'm going to say to you, Sam. Right? So you talk about when phones were fun, right? And I hate asking this question, but do you think people actually want phones that are fun?
No, I don't think
so. That's the problem. That is.
Yeah, and again, I'm not mad at that. Like I realize that phones now have become kind of like just. I mean, it's like a regular. Back then, I think maybe 10 years ago, you could push the envelope with stuff because phones didn't have to be something. A lot of people don't have landlines in the United States. They have their phone, right? That's their only device.
Yeah, it's getting that way in the UK as well.
Right. And then if you have if you talk about people who have like my parents, right? My parents have iPhones, right? But they leave their iPhones charging kind of sitting on the counter. If I want to message them, they have their iPad and then iMessage just comes on their iPad. So if they're watching a thing or they're reading an article, or my mom sometimes plays games. My dad plays a lot of games. The word games and stuff that kind of keeps his, mind going. They just don't, they don't really use their phone. They're just basically using their iPad and the message comes to their iPad. So they really aren't using their phones when they're sitting at home. And if they have to make a phone call, they will reach over. They still have a landline phone. So be that as it may, but they're also 78 years old or 75. So
yeah, that's the only people that really have landlines in the
right.
UK, to be fair.
And so, bracket. I mean, I guess it's just like I really don't know what that next breakthrough is going to be. That I think we have to, and unfortunately, it's going to be like one of those things where, at least in the United States, it's going to be Apple that has to drive that conversation for either a different form factor, having a phone that can be your computer, right? The fact that you have those kind of things, right? And it's going to in the United States, it's going to have to be Apple pushing that form factor or different. The next phase of mobile computing will have to be from the Apple side of the house. But then the problem becomes with them is like, okay, well, in order to do that, do they cannibalize their own sales, right? Do they cannibalize iPads? Do people, since they don't have to buy an iMac because they can get their iPad or their iPhone to do the computer stuff, maybe they don't buy an Apple computer. Maybe they don't need that computing task. Like my parents, they aren't really doing anything other than just browsing the internet and doing some basic computing tasks. They're not doing a lot of the stuff that a lot of tech dorks are doing. Mm. I just don't know what that next phase of mobile computing will be. I think we've really pushed the camera stuff, and I think that seems to be.
Do you think it is going to be external lenses and going down an ecosystem like that?
I think so, because if not, you're going to have to make the chassis a big, huge chassis to support a hardware, right? Wouldn't it be easier just to basically have a modular or put a little lens thing on a kit on your phone if you're going to basically making your phone essentially a computer and then also making it more like a camera. But then how far are you to? Well, if you're putting all this hardware on a camera, why not just get a goddamn camera with a lens? Again,
this is the argument, though, isn't it?
Right. I don't know what that looks like, and I guess that's the $1 million question. If we had the answer, we might be rich. We might have more than 100 people watch this show. It's very possible. I don't know. I just don't know what that looks like. And
we'll brainstorm, Sam. We'll brainstorm and try and come up with it.
Yeah. What is a rotary phone? Oh, so if that's a real question. A rotary phone is the old phones where they used to have. So you would have the 0 to 9.
Yeah.
Right. And what happened
9,
was
7.
Right. And what happened was the old systems, what they would do is if you ever noticed it, when you go to 9 or 8 or 7 or any number, right, it would go, it would be it would know how many ticks, it would know how, it would send signals to the line about how many ticks it was, and it would identify that's a 9, that's an 8. This is the analog days, right? Where
you'd have to put your finger in that hole to get it right.
Right, and you'd have to put in 9, right? It would go all the way back. And when it would stop, the distance that it would take to get back to zero or mean, right, told the old antiquated system that's a 9 because it knows the time that it takes to go back, the physical rotary, right? And the funny thing is if you had, remember, then we had touch tone phones, right? We go boop, 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 boop. They had different tones. And I tell people, if you would record that audio, that the numbers, when you had an old touch tone phone, if you recorded that audio, if you had an open line and you would take that audio and put it to the phone, it would dial the number. You didn't have to actually push the button. It wasn't the button pushing that was doing it. It was the tone that the system was making. That's what the system recognized to identify that that's a number to make the connection to the other line, right? Oh, yeah. Pulse down. Yeah. So that's cool. Well, I mean, you know what? Here's the thing, Peter. You all need to know how hard shit was back in the day. You guys weren't alive when all this shit was really going down. I was alive when all that stuff was going down. I'm telling you, right? It's easy now. It's crazy, right? So, and this is my show. And so if I want to be old and make it weird and make it awkward, I can for a couple minutes, and I appreciate it.
And he does.
So, yeah, and he does. He's a good dude. So, yeah, and it is a joke. Okay, cool. Okay, good. I knew he knew rotary phones. That's why I was like, wait a minute. Luis is trying to fuck with me, right? That's fucking.
Yeah, he knows.
He's been around a long time. Luis is not a fucking new dude. He's been around Earth a long time. And Scoop had a birthday recently. I think he was 42,
Happy birthday,
43. I think it was last. I think it was. I think it was like Wednesday. I saw a post.
Doesn't look anywhere near that age.
Hell no. He looks great.
Yeah.
Good dude. Yeah, I'll check him out. He's got a lot of stuff too. I mean, we Scoop's one of our favorites. He's awesome. So but yeah. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what the next thing is in computing, right? Is it just going to be phones and iPads and tablets and all that text going to be fragmented? Okay, that kind of stinks, but I get it. Thursday. Oh, it's Thursday. He's 43. Well, happy birthday. Welcome. Happy 43rd birthday to the Scoop. And congratulations, sir. Welcome. Way to complete another complete revolution. Another revolution around the earth. Congratulations, sir. You are a hero. Good job. I knew I saw the post and I thought it was Wednesday, but it's Thursday. Okay, good. So, I don't know. I wish we could find out what that next thing is. I just think we have so much capability in our mobile tech computing. And this is the thing that Juan talks about so often. And I swear it's just not land. How he talks about your computer can be more than what it is, and you way overbuy computing power for what you're really trying to do. Yeah. Like I think Ready 4 and these DeX things, I think that's a really, really good it's a really good way to do computing.
So
sorry.
Peter don't use it enough though, mate.
No, I had a little warning that my Wi-Fi kind of blew up, so I apologize. If my camera kind of had a little on StreamYard in the top right where it has the live and they have like how many people are watching. There is a little Wi-Fi signal and it sometimes so
basically someone in Sam's house started dialing on the rotary phone.
Right. And they're trying to connect to a switchboard. It was like, no.
Just messed it up.
Yeah.
Sam,
it's all.
Do you know what I love in tech? And this is going to be TV shows, right? Have you heard of Black Mirror? So a new season's just launched. I love that show, man. It scares the hell out of me though, but I do love that show. I've watched a few episodes so far, and it's always around tech. The last one I watched was I better not talk about it because it'll ruin it for other people. But yeah, if you haven't watched Black Mirror, check it out. There's a new season. We're not sponsored by Netflix.
Right, we're not sponsored by anybody. We're not sponsored by anybody on Earth. So everything we always say. Other than extremeskins.co.uk.
Smooth.
Yeah, I know.
Skin your shit.
Yeah. But other than that, when we just talk about either games or Netflix or shows to watch, those are the things that me and Joe just like. I like Black Mirror. And is that a Remy Malek? Is he still doing the Black Mirror? Is that the same show?
They have Black Mirror. They have different people in every episode, so it's like they're standalone episodes.
What what was the one with Remy Malik? Was that Black Mirror, or was it? I thought it was like 2 seasons where he was like.
You might. No, you're talking about Mr. Robot.
Oh yeah, Mr. Robot. That show was trippy.
Yeah,
wow, man. I was like, oh man, that makes me scared. I just like I would rather just be basically just like unaware of how the world works because that's scary.
Yeah, so Black Mirror is like there's one old episode where you can see back memories, literally with a device. You can see back your memories and things that you've said and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and it's freaky as hell.
Absolutely, it was a good show, but okay. Yeah, so we'll check that out, and then I haven't really watched. I haven't really been paying attention to what is coming out. I think I don't watch a lot of TV, so a lot of times it'll be Becky kind of bringing up a show like, "Hey, this looks cool."
Sam, ask Becky if she's seen Black Mirror, because if you haven't, check out start from the beginning from season 1. Yeah. They all stand alone as well, so you can watch one tonight and one another night. You don't have to watch them in sequence even, because it really doesn't matter.
Okay.
But I highly recommend. I think you would like it.
Yeah, it's a British anthology television by explores various genres with most set in near future dystopias containing sci-fi, a type of speculative fiction that like it's inspired. Oh, it's inspired like the Twilight Zone. Okay, yeah, Twilight Zone. Yeah, I remember watching it as a kid. Okay, yeah, we'll check it out.
Yeah, man. It's okay. It's all about like how it's a very like Terminator-y type of thing where tech.
So it's what goes bad and kills everybody and destroys all the humanity. Yeah, I love
not
that.
So much that, but it does destroy people, and how their use case of it ruins their life.
Sir, is a great, fantastic thing to watch with the family. You need to bring it makes them feel warm and fuzzy. Not so much.
Gets you excited about tech, right?
Right. It makes you go like, if that's the way tech's going to be, I'm probably just going to go ahead and just like, I want a dumb phone. Just give me a 3310. I'm good, dude. So have you this is now a couple of weeks in with your laptop, right? How have you been using it? How have you been getting along? Has it been pretty good for you? Or?
I've been using it like a dumb phone, so I've been playing Carcassonne on it a lot.
Yeah, I do that.
I'm still doing that. I'm still doing that, dude. That was one of the use cases for me for getting it. Mm-hmm. Not with family though, because they've been too busy. So I've been playing against AI. So yeah, I'm enjoying it.
He took the kids with him. The I can't believe there's a Minecraft movie.
Of course,
is that
the one with anything?
I know, but is that the one with Jack Black? I heard it's pretty okay. Like I don't know anything about it.
I love Jack Black.
Yeah, I do too. But I didn't know. What Minecraft movie?
So what do you think? Okay. Any good?
It might be pretty good. I don't know. It might be. I don't know. I didn't know that. I guess can they make a story out of that? I didn't know. I mean, I played Minecraft. I liked it, but it got to the point where I didn't know what the hell I was doing half the time. I'm like, what am I supposed to do in this thing? We could do whatever you want. I said, well, sure, but I don't know what if I'm supposed to build stuff.
Give me a scenario, man. Give me something to do.
No, it's definitely for the kids. Okay, well that's cool. So I don't know. I think Saoirse's probably a little too young for Minecraft. She doesn't know anything about it.
No, she's not ready for that.
Right.
She's not ready for that.
But if you have a lot of kids that play Roblox, or I guess I don't even know, is Roblox like Minecraft?
No, I don't think so.
I don't know.
I thought Roblox was like something totally different.
I don't know. I've played Minecraft. I've never played Roblox. I know a lot of kids do. Yeah, right. Of course. Yeah, well, of course. Yeah, Jason's sitting there and the kids are getting all the context of the jokes, and Jason's like, fuck, I don't know what's happening. I'm just going to sit here. Hey, you know what? They're having fun. It's 95 minutes where they get to enjoy it, and then I don't have to hear their bullshit. You know what? Money well spent. I get it. That's cool. Yeah, like I said, I tried to get into it, and I played a little bit, and I just cannot. I don't know what to do. I just suck at it. But it's funny how that game is really persistent. I think a lot of people still really play a lot of that, right? That there are kids that really are still really playing Minecraft quite a bit. And that's it's old, right? And it's owned by Microsoft, right? Obviously, but that's been around for a long, long time, right? So
Roblox is like strict like Steam type of thing, is it? Where you can play different games on it. That's what
okay. It's a place to play all kinds of games.
Sam, we're old, Sam. Like, we don't even know what was going on anymore.
We have no idea. I mean, I don't have a clue. Like, I don't know what's going on. Like I said, I have a couple games I like to play, and then some of the other ones I know that a lot of kids play. a Wolfenstein
Stein,
movie.
Wolfenstein.
Well, hell, it'd just be a World War II movie, right? Because I mean, that's all it is.
Yeah, Wolfenstein. I keep saying Stein. It's because I'm thinking of beer.
Right, a Wolfenstein movie would be cool. I think they did. It was called Valkyrie. It's pretty much so. Valkyrie was literally the movie that was actually they're trying to sneak in and basically blow up Hitler, right? Sneak in, put a suitcase, and that's the original Castle Wolfenstein on I believe it was on the Commodore 128. I don't remember. Basically, you had to sneak in, get a bunch of passes, get a bunch of uniforms, and sneak in and put the suitcase right by Hitler, and then exit the bunker before it blew up. That was the original game. So I don't know. Now the Wolfenstein now just looks like a Doom model. Just it's all. Overlord is more of a Wolfenstein movie. Overlord, Lord. Okay. I do want a Wolfenstein movie. That would be kind of cool.
You know what? That's made me think of a game that I need to download, Dungeon Keeper.
Okay.
You ever played that?
I don't think so. Hold
on. Dungeon Keeper, right? So you build your dungeon, you have imps. And your imps you do work for you. You can slap your imps. You can pick them up, drop them in different places. They have to mine gold and stuff.
Okay.
And you attract like different monsters and creatures to your lair. You have to build a lair and a training room, and it's a strategy game. It's really cool. I really enjoyed it, and it's just the sounds on it are really brilliant.
It looked there's an original one from like 97, but then there's and then there's another one that looks like Dungeon Keeper Gold. It's on Steam. It's a Steam game. It actually gets pretty good reviews. It's called Dungeon Keeper Gold.
Ooh, gold.
Yeah. Dungeon Keeper Gold.
I might check that out.
Yeah, looks pretty good. I've gotten back into the Anno series, like Anno 1602, Anno 1503. I remember playing those games. I bought it on Steam. I think I paid.
What's that?
I think Anno 1603. It's like a tabletop kind of like an exploration game. You find an island and you can build a little city, and you have to like trade and build like tobacco, and then you fight, and it's kind of like it's pretty cool. I think I got the entire. I think one of the games I was like, I think the games are like $3 or $4, and if you can get a whole series of them, huh?
What's it called? Anno.
Anno 16. What's the one I have?
We just need to clear that up because Tuna thinks you're saying something else.
No, it's Anno 1602 History Edition. Yeah, it's on Steam.
Definitely don't Google what we thought he said.
Yeah, not anal. Jesus Christ, you fucking goofball. No, it's Anno. ANNO. It means year. It's okay. Anno is Latin for year, so it's basically
it's 1800 as well.
Yeah, it's a little. And they have a whole bunch, but the original game I think it was 1503, and then they came out with 1602, and then they've had successive series. It's great because it's on Steam, and it's really nice because games are super cheap. Yeah, and there's a lot of fun. They're super cheap. Yeah.
Looks a bit like Civ stroke Age of Empires. Yeah.
Keep anal to yourself. Holy hello. No. No.
Especially anal back in 1602.
Yeah, and it was cool. And then I think they had like
raw stuff.
And I stopped playing it for a while, but then they had like versions that there were sequels to it. They were like more of 1500, 1800, 1900, 2000. It's pretty cool. It's a fun little game. If you ever get a chance, it's on Steam. So
Age of Empires.
Yeah. Yeah, but I was not very good at it. I also played a lot of StarCraft, and I was terrible at StarCraft, dude. I suck at those kind of games. Those real-time strategy games, I am terrible at those.
That's why I like strategy.
Yeah. I will tell you that I do like. So that's a fun game, and like I said, I just like the fact that you go to Steam, it's literally like $5. And now, granted, it's old, right? The one that I played, the 1602, it might be 20 years old. So don't get hung up on the graphics because you're not gonna. But I also have Elder Scrolls. I have Civ 5, but I know they have Civ 7 now. I don't use Steam a lot, but I know And Jason can put in the comments he's still in there. He got the his Steam Deck, or he just posted in the there's a Lenovo Legion handheld. Yeah, so he posted that in our chat. So that's pretty. Darren posted it. So I mean, I'm a Lenovo guy. I love Legion stuff. I have a Legion desktop. I like Lenovo stuff. I've when it comes to gaming, I'm kind of a Lenovo guy. So apparently they got a Lenovo Legion handheld. So Darren's trying it out. So I'm kind of curious to see what he thinks of that. So yeah,
it's gonna be cool. Yeah. Handhelds are gonna. I think it's gonna be a big year for handhelds.
Well, I still have my PS Vita and I still miss it, but yeah, I don't know. I would like to. That might be something I might be interested in the next year or so. Is seeing like a Steam Deck or a handheld, a Legion handheld where you can play games on it. That would be kind of cool. I'd like to check that out.
Even play each other.
Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, that'd be cool. So I don't know. Yeah, especially with the new AMD chips. Yeah, I mean we're pushing. That's the one good thing about these companies. They're really kind of pushing the envelope as far as chipsets and power and power efficiency. So maybe the next 2 to 3 years, maybe handhelds make a resurgence. Maybe you got the Switch.
So. Honestly,
you got the Switch 2 coming out, but if you don't want to really be kind of inside of that Nintendo umbrella, you can go with the Steam Deck. You can go with all those. I think we're kind of there. I think
Sam, I kind of want to Switch, but then when I think about it, the costs involved for the games and everything, and the actual console itself, I think shit, maybe a Steam Deck or something like that's more the way to go.
I would say so. I'm okay with the fact that the Switch 2 is for like 500.
Yeah, but the game's like 70 quid.
Right. Well, no, shit. Some are 80 quid. I mean, some are like $80. I'm like, that's the problem with Nintendo. It's always been their games are super expensive. And I think now they will obviously have a sale because you're not going to give your 9-10-year-old, right? And I think that's where Nintendo has kind of been smart. You can't get those games outside. You can't play Mario games on a Steam Deck, right? You can't play them outside of their ecosystem.
Well, emulation,
right? You can't.
The older version. Yeah.
12-year-olds want to play Mario Kart. They want to play this. They want to play those games. They want to play Super Smash Bros.
The old versions of it. You can emulate.
Like Zelda on the Switch, right? You can't buy that Zelda game. You can't play it on a Steam Deck. And kids love.
Again, you can play the older ones, but
right. That's what I'm saying. But I think that's kind of where they. I think that's kind of where they win a little bit. But if you're just playing games, clearly, I think the Steam Deck or the Legion handheld, because you have all sorts of different. You don't have to play Nintendo games, right? You can play actual games, right? Actual Steam games. So I think it's going to be interesting to see how that works because I think Nintendo's going to try to continue to push that. And I don't have a problem with the Switch 2. I won't buy one. I have the original Switch. I can't really play a lot of games on it when I'm sitting at home. Like if I'm sitting here playing like a handheld, it doesn't work for me. Okay. And those games I have on Switch, except with Zelda, right? Obviously, but I have like Astroneer, right? Well, I have Astroneer on my PlayStation. I have it on my computer. I have it on the Switch, right? I just don't play my Switch a lot.
You're a console guy, though, aren't you?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah. I'm definitely not a PC guy. No, not for sure. I'm for sure. The only game I play on my PC is really World of Warcraft and Final Fantasy 14 when I was playing that a little bit, but I do not. I'm more of a console guy.
Yeah,
and that's fine.
I used to be. But not anymore because I'm an old man. Dad.
People live for minutes. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and it's Nintendo Switch too. They're gonna sell out. They're gonna pre-order and sell out a ton of them.
Oh yeah, people are gonna buy them.
It's Nintendo. Nintendo's gonna sell forever. I mean, it's one of those brands that's I would almost say Nintendo is practically bulletproof in the gaming space. It's practically bulletproof. And I go for it. I just won't buy one at launch. I'll wait till they come out, and now you can get an OLED Switch for what, $250 or $300. Again, it's like the Cybertrucks. Everybody had to get a Cybertruck, and now I went by the other day. They had a Tesla dealership. There's 8 of them sitting on the lot. You can just buy one right now. It's like if you just wait a little bit, it will be available. It may not be, you won't have it on launch day and you have to wait for it, but I think the Switch 2 is nice. And I don't have a problem with the price. I really don't. A lot of people go.
The first OLED Switch, for example, do you think that's going to hold value or do you think that's going to drop?
Oh, when they launch the Switch 2? Yeah, probably. It'll drop a little bit. But I don't think it's going to drop to the floor just because
drastically, I think it will hold some value.
I mean, I just wish that they would just came out the Switch. Again, they do it on purpose, right? They come out with the basic Switch, and then they'll got to rebrand it. In a year, they'll have an OLED Switch or an AMOLED Switch, and it's like, it's again, if you, I don't play games enough to justify spending the money, but I'm not hating on Nintendo for they're charging $499 for the Switch 2. I don't have a problem with that. If you want to, if they're such a popular brand, they can pull it off. You know, I mean,
the thing is, they really are. There's so many.
They're clearly going to sell out of them.
Yeah, like Pokemon. Real Pokemon fans want the Switch, don't they? Right.
Mm-hmm.
And there's other games as well, like that. You just need a Switch for, unless you want to emulate older versions. Like I say. Yeah, but I'd be happy emulating older versions, I think.
Yeah, and Peter, I don't disagree with that. I think you're right on, but they still sell them. So and that may be your take on it, and that's fine. But they clearly have no problem selling these units. Like they clearly sell Switches like crazy. So again, it's like with every consumer, right? It has to be a decision on you're going to spend your hard-earned money. Does that hardware really resonate to you? And for a lot of people, it probably doesn't. It doesn't resonate to me, and probably not Peter either, obviously, with his comment. But there's a lot of people who will buy it because that's what their kid wants, and they're looking for the upgrade, and then that's where they are. So I'm okay with it.
So what Deitcher says, which I agree, obviously the tariff inflations and everything. What will happen is people will buy it on their plans from carriers. Like you'll see them in networks. It'll be like credit agreements. People buy Switch over.
Yeah, 9-year-olds won't be able to do it, but their parents are going to buy it, and parents are punks anyway now. They'll buy whatever they can just to shut their kid up.
Yeah, take the Switch. Shut up.
Well, like I said, I mean, I'll tell you and maybe this is just because of how society is turning into, which is fine. But like I said, a lot more kids they're at dinner or all these other social places where they have like a tablet or a little kid tablet or a phone. And it's just like all the parents do is they hand it to them just so that way they can stay quiet. Again, I'm okay with that because the kids can get involved in technology, but I think it's one of those things where, I mean, you know, I think 9-year-olds aren't buying Switches, but the parents of the 9-year-olds are going to buy Switch 2s, and that's where it's going to be. You may not buy it, and that's fine because you don't need it because you're an older person and you're not a kid, right? But kids are going to want that. They're going to want the Switch 2. And, you know, we'll see. I mean, I have no problem with the price. It doesn't. I know a lot of people get pissed off like, oh, how dare Nintendo charge $500? Well, don't buy the goddamn thing.
It has a headphone jack there, doesn't it?
Yeah. So does mine. The original Switch does too.
So at least Nintendo recognize that it's something that people want in a gaming device.
Joe, do you think we'll see return of sign up for an overpriced phone contract to get a Nintendo console for free?
Oh, interesting.
Maybe.
I think that would probably more potentially be the broadband route. Maybe, I don't know, because Virgin hasn't done it so much, but I know like Sky and other places have done free TVs and free consoles when you sign up.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I've seen it. I don't think it will happen yet though, because I think it'll happen when the Switch 2 is about a year old, maybe. I don't know. Good question, though.
Well, did you see that Trump decided to waive smartphones and computers from the tariff? So smartphones and computers, and I guess maybe some accessories or maybe parts.
Think someone from Apple might have moaned a little bit?
Oh yeah, well, Apple's going to get crucified for it, and yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And that's what it is. I mean, it's like that's where we are with this administration, right? We're like there, and we're gonna do the tariffs. It's gonna be great. We're gonna make all the money, and you got a bunch of people, and then they're like, okay, but then you've got people like Apple going, hey man, a lot of these parts are being sourced from China. We have to import them to the United States.
We will be
there. We're gonna get fucking crucified, and nope. So it's one of those things where it's like, yeah. So you're gonna see that kind of shit. He's gonna like, we're not negotiating with a terrorist. We're not doing it. Okay, and then they'll do it, and then
it's called an Apple glory hole.
And then 2 days later, he'll be like, well, computers and smartphones, I did admit it. 90 days. It's okay. Right? It's like, whatever, man. Fucking okay. It's complete. Dude, I'll tell you, the markets cannot handle this shit. Like, business owners and markets, they cannot handle, they like predictability. They do not like this uncertainty. It drives these people crazy. So it's just funny. But yeah, I did see that. I think it's 90 days that the Trump administration is allowing smartphones and computers to be exempt from tariffs. So coming from China, that's where it's coming from. It's China. Who knows, man? We'll see how it goes. It's all good. Yeah, it's all these. It's who knows? I mean, it's one day, it's one thing, and it's like, just wait. You know, this thing is kind of funny because it's like, I always tell people, it's like, whatever he says, give it 24 hours. Let's see what he says tomorrow or the next day or maybe 2 days, because he's going to come back and change all this shit. And it's so completely, God, it is completely and utterly unnerving to have to like live in this world where everything is kind of just up in the air, and someday it's this and someday it's that. And for business people, they really don't like to have, they want to know what, you know, if they're doing investments or whatever, they're moving manufacturing, they've got to have some idea of where that roadmap's going to look like. And they, with this administration, they just don't. They're just going to have to guess every day. Oh boy. It's going to be fun. Oh man. I haven't read The Art of the Deal. Yes, I have read The Art of the Deal. And but The Art of the Deal was written when he was not president, and this is not the same thing. And that's another conversation for another day. And
I've not read that. Does it come in audiobook file?
Sure. He's going to read it to you. It's The Art of the Deal. It's going to be great.
I want it read out by you, though, Sam. Can you like?
I should say, hey, I'll read the book. I'll do it. It'll be fantastic. It'll be great. So good.
If anyone wants that, Sam will get that done.
There is not a soul on earth who wants that. Anyway,
Sam, by the Nomad Tech Project, reads out
The Art of the Deal by Donald Trump. Yeah, whatever. That's fine. So we'll have to wait and see. Like I mean, like I said, so if you're you know, paying attention, you know, the 24th of April is going to be nice. You're going to see what Motorola's going to do. The Razors are going to be nice. I think those are, dude. I think for a foldable phone, I mean, you really only have two choices. You've got basically the fold. I mean, I'm sorry, the Flip 6 or 7 from. Mm-hmm. I would say that if you are considering maybe getting into the foldable space and you're thinking about a clamshell, I mean, give the Razors a look, man. I think they really, yeah. I think they really do a good job. I have, like I said, I have my, you know, I've got my Moto. It's a phone that is incredible. I love it. And
you're thinking of upgrading it this year?
I might. I would like to get. I would like to. I don't know. I mean, I think when obviously the new Razor is coming out, it's going to be probably expensive. Like, you know,
yeah,
but if you're willing like me to wait 6 or 7 months or a year, you can pick up a Razor 24, the Plus, the really good one. You could probably pick that up for, I think, like maybe $350, $400.
Is it Plus where you are and it's Ultra where we are? Or is it,
I think it's what it is. Like it's the Razor Plus and the 2024 Razor and the 24 Razor Plus. The Plus is the one that's got the upgraded chipset. It's got the full screen. Yeah. And then basically the Razor normal is essentially the Razor Plus from 23 with an upgraded chipset. So yeah, and I agree. Moto's got lots better updates. They could get better, especially in their budget lines. I would say, hey, if they would come out with a 2025 Moto G stylus that was like, hey, we'll give it 3 years of OS and maybe 5 years of security patches, and instead of $399, it's $599 or $499. Okay,
it's not happening now.
No, they won't, because they want you. Basically, I'm going to keep this for another year or two, and then I'm going to buy the 25 or the 26 Razor. Or the Moto G stylus. But for $250 out the door, sorry folks, you're not going to talk me out of the fact that it isn't a kick-ass phone for $250 out the door. It's a fantastic.
Definitely. Yeah, good phone. Definitely a lot of stuff there. For that price, it's ridiculous.
Absolutely. All right, man. Well, we're here. we're at time. We're at 1 hour and 4 minutes. Again, like I said, we will not have a show next week. We will take a break. It's Easter Sunday, so enjoy that with your family. Enjoy some family time. Take a break. We'll see what we have to go on because I don't think. Because we'll have Easter and then the 24th will be that Thursday. So maybe that next show we'll actually have some moto stuff to talk about or whatever else people want to talk about. We might have a guest. I did reach out to a few people.
Hopefully, a bunch of phonies might come back this week.
Yep, there you go.
There you
go. That is something that we surely missed. Text us up at 6:30 on Thursday.
Oh,
so have you guys? Okay, so are you guys? Is it just a special time? Are you back at the Thursday time slot?
Talk to me, Tuna. Talk to me.
Yeah, Jason. We'll see. So if and that's the case, that's okay. Just make sure that if you're watching this show, Easter stream. They're gonna do a Thursday at 6. Okay, we're not doing anything. So there you go. So if you need a tech fix, do yourself a favor. Thursday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. Go check out the Tech Disruptors. They are fantastic. Tuna and Darren do a great job. They have guests on. I know they have folks on all the time, and it's fantastic.
One time only.
Cool. One time only. Cool. It's just a Thursday. It's an Easter stream. So, hey, check them out. If you need your tech fix, check out the Tech Disruptors. They are fantastic. We love those guys.
Keep your eyes peeled because the bunch of phonies are coming back.
Right. So check them out. And also, if you're looking for a phone and you don't want to have a case and you want some color because you're not feeling the black because you bought the black because it was cheap, remember, extremeskins.co.uk. Check them out. You can buy a skin your shit. You can throw a skin on there. They have a bunch of they cover your devices, right? If you got a console, they got you covered. They've got earbuds covered. You got phones covered. There, you should check them out. Tell them we sent you, and they're fantastic. We love them. We are users, right? I will tell you that my daughter, I forgot about it. I forgot they had sent me a bunch of Xbox Series X skins. And folks, yeah. So right there, my daughter there's like a silver one on top and like that kind of like a light gray. So she did it. We did it correctly. So it was kind of cool.
Nice.
So they had sent me that a while ago. And
see the cable coming out of there.
Yeah, she stole my cable. It's fine. I've got a bunch of them, so it's cool. So yeah, they're really good. So skin your shit. It screens and they do ship. So don't think that just because they're in the UK, they will not ship to you. In the US, they will. Hopefully, Royal Mail is a little better than it used to be. I know I had some skins.
You just got unlucky, mate.
I got unlucky as hell. It had nothing to do with Extreme Skins. It had to do with the Royal Mail. It was just sitting in the DC for a while. Hey, I still got it. So check them out. They're fantastic. The quality is great. They're responsive. If you make an issue or if you have a customer service complaint or you have a customer service issue, reach out to them. They're fantastic. We love them. We support them, and we're good. So, Joe, anything else before we take a 2-week hiatus from our streaming?
2 week?
Well, we're not going to be here. We're not going to be back until the 27th.
Oh yeah, I guess it is 2
weeks. That's 2 weeks from now.
Well, I guess I'll say Happy Easter, everyone that celebrates Easter. Don't eat too much chocolate. Don't be a fat bastard like me.
Right.
Makes you ill.
And if you do be a fat bastard, at least have nice hair.
Oh, thanks, mate.
Right.
Although you didn't necessarily say I have nice hair. You just said make sure they have nice hair.
Right. He's got nice hair, and make sure you have the same hair that Joe has, which is nice hair. So there you go.
Because then they look at your hair and not your fat bastardness.
Right. You don't want to look at anything below the hair. All this you ignore. Look at all this stuff.
Louis said I've looked very dapper today, but I'm not wearing trousers.
No pants. That's how we do it. That's how we do it here at the Nomad Tech Project. We basically just sit here and we have no pants.
Yeah.
I have shorts on, so we're fair. But you don't have to. You can watch the stream. You can watch the stream with no pants. You can have a hoodie or pants or nothing. We don't care. Watch us in bed. Watch us at all. Tell your friends about us and watch the show. And remember, we will post the show. We'll have the audio chat and the audio show. Don't forget. We're all here every weekend except for next Sunday. So remember, the only pants. Yeah, no pants for OnlyFans. We do not have an OnlyFans, by the way. If we ever did have an OnlyFans, I don't know how that would work because we're terrible. I don't know.
It's quite funny, right? So, just before we go, we was talking about OnlyFans. I was with families there, and we was talking about OnlyFans and how mad it is. And then our nan come in.
Oh,
and I said only nans. I thought that was a good way to close. Anyway,
sounds good. There might be an only nans if you're looking to that older.
There's probably people out there that like that sort of thing. I don't know.
If it is, go for it. You do you, boo. We're gonna go ahead and let that go, and we're gonna go. On that note, we're gonna go ahead and say bye. Thanks for everybody for showing up. Again, we will have the show downloaded hopefully this evening, the audio version, and we will try to see
recently. Sam, by the way,
what
you've been very good with that recently.
I've been trying to be better about making sure the show is actually posted the day it actually is recorded.
Yeah, you've done a good job.
I'm trying to. So anyway, we'll OnlyFans. Oh. No. So yeah, I will make sure I try to get the show posted for the audio version. Again, we always have the YouTube version. Go check us out. Tell all your friends, and we'll try to see if we can get some more guests on here and have really good, engaging conversations. So we appreciate everybody taking time again. We will not be here next Sunday. We will take some time off for Easter. If you celebrate that, cool. If you don't, that's cool. It'll just be a nice break from us. And again, you have the Thursday show with the Tech Disruptors. Go watch that. Go make sure you give them a sub, give them some like, and engage in their chat because those guys are really good. Darren and Jason do a fantastic job. So for myself and for Joe's hair, this is Nomad Tragic with Sam and Joe. Thank you so much. Again, we will be back next Sunday, the 27th of April. I don't know if we have a guest, but if not, that's cool. We'll show up and take care of yourselves. Enjoy your tech. Don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick. And we will see you the 27th of April, 2 weeks from today. Thank you, everybody. We love you guys. Take care. We enjoy you.
Bye.
See ya.